guys, and welcome back to another tying video. Here we're gonna tie a Caddis Larva. As a hook, I'm gonna use Ahrex Camera's size 10 hook, but you can use a little smaller if you want. And now we attach Semperfli adhesive lead foil to the underbody, and I used like one wrap for midsection and second halfway through the first one. When cutting the lead, you use the scissors that can do that, and usually I cut like 45 degrees angle to suit it much better on the body. And as a thread, I use Semperfli Classic Waxed thread 8/0 brown olive. And now we make sure the lead stays put. These wraps are like not so tight as the foil might slip away, and as we are securing it, we then tighten up those wraps. As we are secured the lead, now we are going to attach the monofilament eyes right next to the eye of the hook. It helps to use tweezers like when attaching these little monofilament eyes. And I have already pre-burned that monofilament and used Gulff Black UV resin for each pupil. Now we're gonna use the thread to make some little tapper for the larva's body and to make it look like it should be. And it is much easier to attach materials when you use this method. First, I'm gonna attach 5x monofilament to the hook. This will be the rib for this fly. You can attach it later, but in here I attach it first. I left the monofilament a little farther away from the back. Then I use Semperfli Body-N-Rib color rootbeer, and make sure when tying this that you have to make sure that body doesn't look from tail part as stumpy. So make sure you make like tight ribs or flatten it out. Next, I'm going to attach 2 gray peacock herls each side of the hook. They are coming along with the back And lastly, I'm gonna tie in Semperfli Oliver Edwards rhyacophila wool, and also here it's important to match the body tapering to make this. That wool comes in strands of 4, and I used one of those so to make body look slimmer. And as you can see, I go one wrap behind the monofilament and then go right in front of the monofilament, and as I'm wrapping these, I make sure the wool will be like flat as possible. It has nice little strands coming off, and even more if you want to, you can use dumping brush to get those strands out. Here we're gonna tie off the wool and make sure you have enough space for the thorax and legs. Next we take Body-N-Rib and pull it from back to the front and make sure it stays straight up on back, and use few wraps of the tying thread. And then we come with the monofilament and take each herls next to the back and lay them side by side to back and make segmentations with the monofilament. Those herls will be like gills of larva, and it doesn't necessarily pop those little fibers out, and you can brush them out later, so don't worry about that. As we tied our last segmentation, we will be tying off the monofilament and herls right front of the back, and so we can like hide those in there. Next material we are gonna use is Semperfli Straggle legs, color brown, and tie them in as thorax and legs. It's in 2 parts. For thorax area segmentations, we take few wraps first, and then we're gonna tie the legs in place here, and then we're gonna take the back piece and tie it in. And now we're gonna do the same thing again, and few turns, straggle legs, and we are going just before the eyes, behind the eyes, and then tie the legs off and put the last segmentations for the thorax with the back. And now we're gonna do the head segmentation after this one, and go just behind the hook eye and thigh wraps of thread, and carefully cut off the back. Now we're gonna tie few wraps of thread as a head and hide those little fibers that sticks out. And now we're gonna do whip finish. Now we can take the dubbing brush and brush those legs that are stuck in and make it more alive. And also you can, in this time you can brush those little fibers of the herls out. Make sure that you brush the legs out from the back. You can use fingers and a little bit of saliva to make them bend down, as we're gonna next use some Gulff Dirty motoroil as a back shell. I used a little bit first on back hump and give some lamp on that, and then I move to the next pump, segmentation pump, and also last one will be on the head part as the securing the thread where we did the whip finish. And lastly, we can use the topping brush once more to take as much legs out as possible and use a little cleanup, of course. So here we have a Caddis Larva and happy things, tight lines, and remember, the subscribe and like and comments are welcome. Thanks for watching.